What song was that? I don't know. Jockey. Hello, Martin. How's it going? Do you know? Never headache, never. My Danish breast fillet is so cheap? No. But Danish shot fresh is also very cheap. Oh, what just happened? Whoa. I got some chocolate somewhere in my throat in a weird way. Yeah, I don't know. I only saw it like once at the store, and it was cheap. It's probably cheap because it's Danish. How to prepare it? You cut it, and then you put it into a pan. My mom usually makes a stew. Oh, we have a Paladin quest apparently. Not sure what she puts into the stew though. Mustard, I know, for one. First of all, we gotta do this. Leveling roulette. Boobies. I wonder if the Dune game is any good. And Dune. Didn't they release a new one? It doesn't show up. Why would it be? I don't know. Why wouldn't it be? Hello. Come on, Miyamoto. Come on, we're gonna pull these guys too. What the fuck was that? instant failure. Is this guy even awake? Stream dropping pretty frequent. Not on my side. Must be on. Try YouTube. Maybe it's Twitch, because it's not showing any drops for me. It might be restream, I guess. I'm not sure exactly how restream works. If they run it through their servers somehow first, or if it's... Yeah. Just like I said, it's not on my side. Which means it's one of the services, Twitch or Restream. How far do you get into Darkest Dungeon 2? Making the music weird? What are you talking about? Am I losing my mind? Maybe. Maybe. So was nothing happening here. Whatever you're seeing, it is on your side. /Twitch /Restream. Does Rage of Alone apply a debuff anymore? No, it doesn't. It used to apply a debuff. It used to reduce enemy strength. I don't know, is Royal Authority just an upgrade? Now, or what? I'll have to check later. Are you running away from the healer? No need to go up there. Yeah, I know. I don't give a shit. We just did anyway. Lightplate just subscribed. He resubscribed. Thank you, Lightplate. Have I ever gotten any money from Twitch? I don't know. I haven't seen any. Yeah, I should. I had like 6 subscribers for a while. I haven't actually like checked my bank account for the money actually coming in, so it might be there. But it's like a very negligible sum, so it doesn't really like stand out or anything in the transactions. So yeah, like I said, I watched the Dune movie, and I didn't think it was necessarily good, because there wasn't enough of it to warrant calling it good. But it was cool. And you can tell that it's based on something that wasn't written this decade. What's the stopping point? Well, spoilers! Press the mute button. You have been warned. We're going to spoil the movie now. They meet up with the Fremen, and they have a duel. Sputters and gets weird and pitchy. Maybe I need to... Where's this asshole? Someone's spell? Maybe. You know what? Here, come here. Heals! I haven't seen the old Dune movies. I haven't really consumed any Dune media before. I don't think there's anything happening that's making it do that. Because I'm not hearing. What you're talking about. Is Cashman shaved? I am shaved. I shave like once every month or something. No, I still have a bit of that chocolate stuck inside my nostril. How you doing, Mark? Yeah, I mean, you have to wait for the stubble to come out, but I don't like having a beard. I like the stubble approach. Hard to maintain though. Kill the queer bubble. Just use the trimmer? I do. Or well, I use the flippy thing on the back of the shaver. I'm not buying anything other than that. It'll grow out. This week has been a bitch. Why has it been a bitch? Oh my guys. Don't know how to shave without damaging my skin? What are you, a baby? Let's pull this too. You take shaving cream, and then you put it on your face. That's how you use shaving cream. This reminds me of the time I knew a guy who stalked Cracky-chan back in the day. He was pretty cool. He was this Cracky stalker. And he didn't know how to apply roll-on deodorant. He thought you were like supposed to roll it like around the edges of the ball, like this way, kind of, or something, some weird way. Not just like use the big ball and just use it, you know, like he was homeschooled, you know. I say homeschool, but homeschooling has its quirks. It's close. I'm not sure if that had anything to do with homeschooling though. Like I said, he was special. He was cool, but the stalking thing was kind of weird. Not gonna lie. He was not Swedish. The internet has sort of been around for a while. But you can homeschool in Sweden. As far as I know. Just that nobody does it. If you can't, then I'm moving out of this country. Skolplikt? Yeah. But homeschooling is school. Stop gooping me! fermenting a dough for 24 hours? But why? I have almost finished eating my other bread. I got a sword. But he doesn't want to equip it. How many levels did we get? A fast sourdough? What do you mean fast? It basically takes like that long to make stuff. Alright. Why was I running? Sold some shib. I haven't been paying attention to it because I don't have it. I have to look at mine. Well, oh, well. Alright. 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 I don't even care about them that much. Unless they start like free falling. It's still like $1,000 in there. I don't want to sell a little. Welcome, friend. I have important news for you. In my search for the traitor, I have been looking through old records and discovered something chilling. Around the same time, the traitor Zolgzagil was named captain. Several famed soldiers of the Sultan's Sworn met with untimely deaths, but strangely our records do not say how they died. Curious. I begged the favor of an old friend and received permission to inspect medical records kept by Frondale's Frontistery. I discovered that the soldiers died in various ways, some in combat, some suddenly at night, in the barracks. But in nearly every case there were signs that poison had played a role in their demise. Yes, poison, carefully, invisibly administered. The more I read, the more I saw the dark hand of death's embrace at work. Assassins in the pay and service of the monetarists. A society so secretive that few believe it truly exists. But no matter how skilled and devious the assassins, they should not have been able to kill so many of the Sultan's sworn elite without being discovered. Not, that is, without help from within our own ranks. So, I asked myself, who had the most to gain from their deaths? One by one, the former captain, his trusted aides, the most capable of the Sultan's Sworn, who might become future commanders, all of them slain by an invisible hand. And with their deaths, the way was open for Zolgzagil to become the Sultan's Sworn's youngest captain in a century. The monetarists were plotting to kill the best and bravest of the Sultan's Sworn, to purge its ranks of greatness, and enervate it so that it could no longer carry out its duty, to serve as sword and shield for the Sultanate. Which begs the question, How did Solzagil remain captain for 30 long years? How did he avoid the poisoner's kiss when men better than him had succumbed? There can only be one explanation. He was the monetarist's cat's paw, the turned-cloak in our midst. Needless to say, I am more determined to track him down than ever before. While I continue my investigation, I have a trial for you. I want you to seek the Gallant Armor, the legendary raiments worn by generations of the finest soldiers of the Sultan's Sworn. In accordance with the Sultan's Sworn tradition, the set that would be yours has been scattered across southern Thanla. Each piece has been locked within a coffer, which will be guarded by 2 men. You must best the Sultan's Sworn themselves if you are to claim their armor. Drop in again. 0 drop frames. Yeah, try YouTube. If not just because I want to know if it is Twitch. Because it's not showing anything here. Little Alamigo. Oh. Test, he says. Test, what the fuck? Ah! Dune was really cool though. I really liked the aesthetics in general. Come on, you little shit. Just die. Yeah, he might be confused because of that. Yeah, when people are when I'm using restream and people are on YouTube, you can only see it in the on-screen chat. Yeah, I mean they don't really want you to. If you become like partnered, you can't use restream. Same thing with YouTube, because they want you exclusively. Come on then. Are you busy with school? I'm gonna Kintu. Alright, dude. Well, hey, at least you didn't have a strapping young Iranian lad shove a finger up your asshole. So there's the a what? A strapping young Iranian lad. You know what he did? Fucking guy. Oh. There we were. Him with his finger up my butthole, and he's like, "Is it uncomfortable?" Like, what the fuck do you think? You fucker! That's why I bought a chocolate cake today. Come here, you silly knight. I'm gonna jam this sword up your butt. Hey, you stunned me. That's not fair. Only 5k? That's not that much, is it? For the university, but yeah, good luck. Oh no, they didn't. I didn't even ask him to check my throat because he was awkward. I don't like when you get Iranian doctors. I don't like that we have shitloads of Iranian doctors. They always feel like they don't want to be there. They always have bad English. They always have like really bad practices for just interacting with people in general and like steering patients. It's like they're terrible. I hate them. And there's so many of them. Like they've completely replaced our normal doctors. And none of them speak Swedish properly. Some of them don't even speak Swedish. Like, it's ridiculous. Last time I was there was another like Iranian like med student or whatever. I think it was actually like a doctor that was just following with to do like practitioner work or internship, whatever you want to call it. And he literally could not communicate properly in Swedish with the doctor that was there to like even ask questions or answer questions or whatever. It was pathetic. Like, you shouldn't be able to step into a hospital as a practitioner if you haven't, like, completed advanced Swedish. Like, I am completely serious about that. It's absolute bullshit. I don't give a shit how few doctors you think we have. Good. The armor is yours. You have learned your lessons well and honed your skills. And now you are ready to face Solzagil, the traitor. Yes, the time has come. I have discovered his hiding place and made contact through emissaries. We are negotiating the return of Oathkeeper. Secrecy is crucial, as is preparation. We will leave only when you are ready. Gallant Solorets and shit. We got everything except for the armor. Now we look like really weird. Oh, there's another quest? Take all damage intended for another party member. You almost never use that skill. The recovery of Oathkeeper will be the first step in restoring the honor of the Sultan Sworn. I have told Solksagil that if he returns the sword, we will give him a fair trial. Otherwise, he shall be captured and thrown at the feet of the Sultana for judgment. The parley is to take place south of Forgotten Springs in the Sagoli Desert. Give me your map and I will mark the location. While I believe he is acting alone, we must be prepared for anything. You may be certain that the monetarists will not take kindly to his surrender. In fact, I believe that should the monetarists discover Solksagil is willing to parley, they will surely try to intervene. Therefore, we must not speak of what we do, not to anyone. We should travel separately, so as not to attract attention. We shall meet again at the parley. Okay. Same fish daily. We are retweeting that shit. Am I not following Same Fish Daily? No, I'm not. I am a big fan of Same Fish Daily. It's a good account. That's not Oathkeeper. That's not the big blue guy. So you dared come. You're a brazen one, I will grant you that. Did you really think I wouldn't find out? Come, confess. My allies within the Sultan Sworn have told me the truth. I know you are working in league with the traitor and the monetarists. Confess. With your dying breath, you will tell me where I can find Oathkeeper and the traitor who stole it. Bro! Do you dare accuse my own Sultan Sworn of lying? We are comrades in arms, every one of us, bound in brotherhood by our oath. I would trust them with my life. What is your word when set against theirs? We know the meaning of honor. You're a naive fool. I suspected you from the beginning, ever since you showed me the soul of the Paladin that the traitor Solksagil gave you. You were, no matter how briefly, a Paladin, and as such you are bound by a code of honor that is unforgiving as unforgiving as it is noble. The monetarists, yeah. Traitor! I sentence you to death and decree that your body shall lie here and feed the crows. Oh no! Time to switch to Dark Knight. Come on, bitch. You do not stand a chance! How dare you use our art against us? What else should I use? Bloodstain. In spirit. What is that? You fool. You cannot do this. I'm the greater swordsman. You're superior in every way. You were blinded, Genlins, by your own conviction. Genlins, remember your own lesson. A paladin does not exist to defend his position or the honor of his fellow Sultan Sworn. Those men were assassins in service to the monetarists. The moment you outlived your usefulness, you were to be killed. You and this free paladin of yours. Liar! You are their agent. You betrayed us for them. You were always naive, Genlins, too willing to trust your fellow man. It's one of your virtues, but you have a deplorable habit of turning your virtues into vices. Think! The information you uncovered, how did you come by it? Did it fall into your lap as if, oh, I don't know, someone was feeding it to you for their own purposes? You and the paladins under your command are the monetarists' lapdogs. Genlins, you've been led a merry dance and follow their lead at every step. Then you were never a traitor? You were innocent. I have wronged you. Bonk. Easy now. Your wounds aren't mortal, but you still need to rest. The others, though, they are dead. I'll take care of the captain. He's had worse, and we'll have him back on his feet soon enough. You've become a fine warrior, and learned all there is to know about the way of the Paladin. I think perhaps that you are not aware just how much you've grown. Well, it's time you were made aware, Paladin. When the captain's recovered, keep an eye on him for me, will you? He needs someone like you to watch his back. Yeah, we're just leaving the others there on the ground. They're all just dead. The words of Solsagil has awoken the memories of Paladin's past, I think. It said. Something like that. Now we go and learn the skill that you never ever use. It's like a raid skill or something. Put it on the other tank or whatever. Take some damage from them. Paladin, I have done you a great wrong. I allowed myself to be hoodwinked, accused you of treason, and even turned my sword against you. I hope that you can find it in your heart to forgive me. As for me, yes, I am recovered from my wounds, at least those that will heal. But far more importantly than that, Solsagil is innocent after all. He was never a traitor, and the dream that I followed in my youth was not a lie. I remain captain of the elite, although a poor substitute for my predecessor. I am now working on a plan to strike back at the monetarists and restore the Sultan Sworn to its former strength. No, do not be afraid for me. We unmasked the foe and he cannot hide behind his deceptions anymore. The assassins won't find it easy to reach me. For now, I will bide my time, marshal my strength, and when the time is ripe, strike hard at our enemies. Okie. The souls of Paladin past bequeath you their wisdom. Nice. And where do I put that? Here, somewhere. maybe. Depends on what we get later. Now, Royal Authority. Upgrades Rage of Hollow into Royal Authority. Good. That's what I was a bit afraid of. That it was gonna use up too many slots. But no, you you get Goring Blade. And that's it. I mean, you do get more here. And we'll have to figure that out when we get it. Under the effect of Sword Oath. Where do we get Sword Oath? Is it like here? There. Grants 3 stacks of Sword Oath after successfully completing a combo with Royal Authority. Yeah. Oh, this is auto attack based. Okay. It's neat. Have you watched any of the old series? I don't know if anything old Dune is really worth watching. Which one? There are 2. As far as I know. Once the first book ended, it got me. Alright. But on the other hand, I could just not watch it. And just wait until they finish the movies. Unless those end up getting cancelled as well. Not a super fan of movie series though. If they're gonna make a series, I would rather it was a series. TV. It might not be as high budget, but I mean, it's weird because a TV show would be, feels like it should be more expensive to produce, but then there's like, I don't know. Guess it's more spread out. I don't know why movies get so much more funding than TV does. Does movies really make that much more money? But like TV lets you flesh out everything more. You don't have to go at the same kind of pace you do for movies. Movies almost always butcher whatever story they're trying to tell. Almost always. Like old anime movies. Like every single one is dog shit. Akira, you name it. Because they're all just completely butchering the source material. Thanks to you, Biggs and Wedge are with us again. Now we must find a way to rescue Minfilia and the others. Gods know we've kept them waiting for too long already. Based on what we've learned, I believe it's safe to say they're being held at Castrum Sentry. So let us convene at Revenant's Toll in Mordona. This is as good a place as any to prepare, and better than most. The road leading east then, south will get you there. When we arrive, let us seek the advice of the local adventurers. We're bound to learn a thing or two that will benefit our mission. Guyver was good. I haven't watched that one actually. But the thing is that most these old movies that I feel people ever call good is just because they have like cool scenes and that's it. Like the actual story in the Akira movie is absolutely retarded. But still people are like, this is the best anime movie ever made. And it's fucking horrible. Except that it has cool music and some cool scenes. And that's it. Well met, friend. What brings you to Remnant's Home? Did I hear you rightly? Your friends are being held captive at Castrum Sentry, and you want to rescue them. I don't mean to discourage you, but that might prove difficult. Yes, the animations and everything, it's really cool. But it's just not enough. Yeah, and I never really watched any of those. I think my cousin has Galaxy Express stuff, but we never watched it. And Macross is that show that I've always, throughout my entire childhood, I've heard it mentioned, but never saw it. My cousin had a friend that really liked Guyver. But we never ended up watching that either. Did I hear you rightly? Your friends are being held captive at Castrum Sentry, and you want to rescue them? I don't mean to discourage you, but that might prove difficult. The stronghold has been on high alert of late, with armored patrols seen about the perimeter around the clock. Not even a fly could get within 100 yards of the walls undetected. If the Guardians were alerted to our coming, we cannot know what they will do to Minfilia and the others. We must act with the greatest stealth. Aye, it has to be good old-fashioned infiltration. But with the security so tight, how are we going to smuggle ourselves in? That's easy. Just beat the shit out of 2 guards and grab their gear, and then put it on, and just walk right in. Sheesh. Why, I have a mind to walk through the front door. Huh? The front door? Aye, we'll disguise ourselves as Imperial troops and march right in. For this, we'll need a few sets of Imperial uniforms, a suit of magic armor, and impeccable timing. Ha, that's a bold strategy, but it just might work. Where we are, there's certainly no shortage of opportunities to borrow the equipment. Knowing those Imperial bastards, they won't even suspect that we savage Eorzeans would think to use their technology. Then it's settled. If you're determined to go ahead with this, I'd recommend you speak with Gallant. The fellow's got a personal grudge against the Empire, and happens to know a deal about Castrom's sentry besides. I have no doubt that he'd want to be of aid. ... Ida and I shall go to reconnoiter Garlean activity at the stronghold. It would not do if something were to befall our comrades before we have the chance to act. Come and join us when you're ready, Cashew. Let's do this. Yeah. Sometimes I wonder, Ida, are there ever times when you are not enthused? I'm nothing if not enthused, Ishtola, and you're beginning to remind me of Paladin. Let's just jam a dodgeball quote in, guys. I haven't watched dodgeball, so I'm fine. Just don't watch things, then you're immune to pop culture references. Looking for Gallant, are you? Well, you found it, whoever you are. Eh? You're looking to get inside Castrom's sentry, and you need my help. Huh. Something tells me we're going to get along just fine. So, you have friends at Castrom's sentry that want for rescue. That Slaftborn knows me too well. Nah, you can count on my help. I've got a score to settle with the Imperials, and I never pass on an opportunity to get back at the Horsarks. But enough about me. Let's talk strategy. Rescuing folk from captivity is right delicate business. A single oversight, just one little blunder, and it's all over. You can't leave any room for uncertainty. For starters, you need to confirm beyond the shadow of a doubt that your friends are where you think they are. You don't want to risk your neck only to discover they've been moved elsewhere. How can you find out, you ask? By following these instructions. Go listen to a random pipe. Watching season 1 to 10 is effectively absorbing all pop culture, I suppose. But the only, honestly, South Park's the only one I've really watched everything from the beginning. I might have finished Futurama. Definitely not The Simpsons. Definitely not Family Guy. I watched half of King of the Hill. But King of the Hill gets kind of... It's really hard to binge. And I'm a binger. We were in the schoolyard playing soccer. But it tells me he saw a cartoon on at midnight that had kids swearing and getting killed, and there were aliens probably. If you approach Sentry from the east, you'll see a swampland to your left called the Tangle. Get in there, never mind all the marbles, and navigate your way to the southwestern corner. You'll come upon some drainage pipes coming down from the stronghold. Don't ask me how I know, but one of them leads back up to the command tower. If you listen closely, it might be as you can eavesdrop on some of the happenings within. Once we know for certain your friends there, we'll move to the next stage of the operation. Now get going, and Godspeed. Yeah, I think my cousins just had it recorded on VHS. And we would just watch some now and then. My cousins always were really on top of whatever was on TV and recorded stuff like all the time. But I didn't watch it live, ever really. The faint sound of conversation echoes down the pipe. What of the captive? Does she still refuse to speak? She may as well be a deaf mute for all the information we've gotten out of her. The others aren't much better. The Ellison gets on my nerves, most of all. Every time he opens his mouth, it's only to spout gibberish. I do wonder, why is the Tribunus so obsessed with this Minfilia woman? They say she possesses some mystical power, something we Garleans don't have. Mystical power, like the kind the beastmen use. How am I supposed to bloody know? If you're so curious, why don't you ask the Tribunus yourself? As well try to tumble her. I like my head where it is. Thank you very much. Our break is over. Best get back to our stations. The footfalls grow fainter until all is silent. How old were you again? No, yeah, no. $37. Yeah, you're not that much older than I am. I'm 33. But still old enough to, because it's like when you're in like 7th grade or whatever, that's where you start to actually like think properly. Before that, you kind of just react to everything. YouTube delay as well? Yeah, it is. And it's on ultra low delay. Tis good to see you again, Cashin. I'm given to understand you have conducted some reconnaissance. Tell me, what were you able to learn? So, Minfilia and the others are indeed at Castron Sentry. Their presence thus confirmed, we may proceed with the mission. While you were afield, Sid took the liberty of devising a plan of action. Pray have the details from him. I mostly just hung out with the older kids, but that's also why they didn't want anything to do with me, because I was young. My cousin's three years older than me, and his friends were like 2 years older than me. So, like when you're in those years, it matters way too much. too much text in this game. I can't eat my candy. Good work, Cashin. As Alphino has already told you, we've plotted out a course for the rescue. The gist of it is unchanged. We disguise ourselves as Imperial soldiers and infiltrate the stronghold. Gallant is looking into ways to procure a suit of magic armor. In the meantime, I need your assistance for some preparation of my own. Minfili and the others are counting on us, Cashew. Let's not keep them waiting any longer than necessary. While Gallant goes about devising his plan, we need to see to some preparations of our own. It wouldn't do if the Imperials were to discover that they're short on armor. To prevent this from happening, I'm going to put together a makeshift communications jamming device. The explanation is going to get a bit technical, so bear with me. Imperial forces communicate at a distance via electromagnetic waves. Simply put, voices are born upon etheric lightning energy that permeates the air. Now, the hill-sized cluster of corrupted crystals to the west has been observed to amplify the selfsame energy. By making use of this property, we should be able to drown out Imperial voices. To ensure that we have enough amplification, we must identify the most potent crystals among the cluster. For this, I need you to go there and use this device to take readings. I'll mark the likely places on your map. Oh, and just so you know, plasmoids are drawn to lightning energy. Don't be surprised if you run into a few. Very cool. We need to queue for dungeon. Zamile again, apparently. Because we are too low level. Fucking frog. Kill this guy too. The hell? Getting it figured a little. Yeah. What are you figuring out? It does seem like stress is way more important than hit points are. I mean, they are basically the same, because when you get full stressed, you die. More or less. 3/8 of the bar, they get marked from 10s to irritable. Alright. Why did you guys pull without me? Oh, I have to stand there and aggro them. Come on, guys, you can do it. Give me a heal. Now stand in the thing. Stupid healer is not standing in the thing, so he's taking AoE damage all the time. Heal, please. I absolutely fail to understand how they fail this badly at this kind of stuff. Irritable is that's what was making the relationship with Spire. Anyone irritable is triggered all the time. Problem I'm having is even at the inn, you don't necessarily get a lot of stress reduction items. Last night I got to the next inn the first time, 1 mop and 1 pipeweed, so a total of 7 stress reduced across whole party. Yeah, not great. Where's this? Hello. Yeah, but the game is probably designed so that you're supposed to not take big risks early in. So, like, the more you rank up and you level up your dudes, the more powerful ways to reduce stress you'll get, probably. And that's because it seems to be that kind of way. You're supposed to just like slowly level up your rank to gain access to new things and whatnot. And then slowly get more and more rewards. There are ways to work with the RNG on the Death's Door. You mean on enemies? Oh yeah. Dots. I was thinking right away because in the first game, having a dot on your party members was just a nightmare when you were at Death's Door, because then every single time you would get a Death's Door trigger every single turn. But still not sure what I think about that whole mechanic. Initial reaction is absolutely horrific. At least. What's up with this guy? There. Are you with us? City Dragoon? Why? It's panicking so bad. Well, I guess it's the boss next. We have to wait for the Lancer. Can you stun this guy? Nope. How did you die already? How are you guys dying here? Like I'm tanking, I'm not taking any damage. Are you getting hit by everything? It seems that way. Aha! New armor. Is pull. Did you have to go and do that right now? I feel a general reduction in the skill level of the player base. But I guess that's what happens when you get a bunch of new people, especially WoW refugees. Because WoW doesn't have like mechanics or anything anymore. There's like no need to actually learn to play the game. A lot of like super old school WoW players that I know are basically keyboard turners. Like they're ridiculously bad. Even people who you would think would be like decent players, but no, they're keyboard turners. I'm too lazy to cuss them out. Sometimes I try to help them and tell them what to do, but then they get angry and then the entire group falls apart. For example, this I've seen a bunch of healers now who hard resurrect people when there's an ability called Swift Cast that they should have by now, that you use with Resurrect to insta-resurrect people. And it has like a minute cooldown or something. It's pretty short. But either they're using it for something else, which they generally should not be doing. I do it sometimes. But generally you want to save it for the Swift Cast Resurrect. I tend to waste it on Holy. Just because I want to get the Holy off instantly so that people don't start taking damage. Because Holy is an AoE stun. And a 9-second AoE stun is pretty good damage reduction. Our healer is out of mana! How are you out of mana? What the fuck? And he is Swift Cast up, he's out of mana and his Swift Cast up. He is not doing something correctly. Speak of the devil, are you also out of mana? Zamail Winglet. Got a bunch of shit. This weapon is only 41. How can it be recommended? Yeah, no, it's not. To deal with my inventory here. It's not getting automatically equipped because the items are in my inventory instead of the armory chest. What do you mean cannot execute it this time? Fuck you. There, we got some better gear. But we also had too many hands? Not sure what it was. Armor. That's what it was. Is this guy just running around killing frogs here? Are you grinding? Last one is up here. You have the readings? Excellent. Here, let me see the numbers. Yes, 4 of these crystals should suit our purpose, though I pray that we won't have need of their power. Alright, thanks, Cashew. Clean the wax out of your ears now, because there's something I want you to do, by way of preparation. The plan's to have you enter Castrum Sentry all decked out in Imperial dubs, but the disguise is more than just the clothes you're wearing. You've also got to act the part. At the very least, you need to know how to perform a convincing Imperial Salute. First impressions are everything, as they say. I could teach you the salute myself, of course, but it's best you learned it from the experts. So get yourself near as you dare to Castrum Sentry and watch the Imperials doing what they do. The thing with the salute is that you need to also you need more than knowing just how to do it. You need to know who to salute, when to salute, etc., etc. Just gonna kill a couple of soldiers to get past. Nobody will notice a couple of soldiers missing. Someone's here boosting me. Oh, I can't. Every single time there's a cutscene, I'm like, this is a good moment to put something into my mouth. But then that's exactly when you shouldn't do that. Nothing to report, sir. We have received an anonymous warning that insurgent forces are near. And my cable keeps getting stuck everywhere. Don't like it. What can we do about that? We can pull it in this way, maybe. We have received an anonymous warning that insurgent forces are near. We must redouble our vigilance. I shall recommend that patrols be increased. Who is this? So, did you manage to learn the Imperial Salute? No. Best you don't demonstrate. I'm liable to fly into a rage and crack skulls. I'll just take your word for it. Is that what I have on the bar? Yep. Time was I took on every odd job offered me, running messages and culling pesky fauna like a good little adventurer. But I'm well past that now. These days there's only one thing on my mind, and it's what's brought me here. Aha. Hello, Sark Malark. Sark Malark wishes to help you acquire the disguises you need for your rescue mission. You are called Cashew Kanabi, yes? I have heard of your plight from my friend, Gallant. As a fellow adventurer and son of Eorzea both, I would offer you my assistance. In order to infiltrate Castrum Sentry, you and your comrades must disguise yourselves as Imperial soldiers. The question is how to go about acquiring the uniforms and helms. There are places a man might purchase them, but individuals who deal in such wares are not the sort to whom you would entrust your secrets. It would be more prudent, I believe, to procure what you need via traditional means, from the bodies of their recently deceased owners. You could have told me that sooner. Do you have any idea how many soldiers we just killed? The fortified area before Castrum Sentry never lacks for Imperial patrols. It ought not take long to obtain 3 sets of gear, one for each member of the infiltration team. Biggs, Wedge, and yourself. When you have what you need, please return here and allow me to inspect the spoils. Okie doke. Nope, Myers is already summoned. No assholes. Come to me, assholes! Need more assholes! Running over things with the stagecoach gives you items? So it's a positive thing? I mean... Is it not rather that it might be everything? Like that we've been thinking? That they might do nothing, maybe they might give you items, and maybe they might trigger... stress increase? Or is it literally only positive? It's everything, yeah. Were you able to obtain 3 sets of Imperial equipment? Damaged, as I had suspected. In their present condition, I fear these uniforms and helmets are like to draw suspicion. They must be repaired, if only superficially. Fortunately, the blacksmith Eginolf at the Diamond Forge in Rowena's House of Splendors should be able to hammer them into shape in no time. I've already sent word ahead, and have been assured that he is expecting you. Were it not, we have already impressed upon him the need for utmost secrecy, as to the nature of your mission. Running over a flaming pile of rubble gives you a small chance at items. Stress increases and decreases are the same random ones as before. Why flaming rubble? What do you get from that? There's also a loathing gauge at the top left I've been ignoring the whole time. That gauge is why I was getting way tougher monsters. Were you? I only saw the monsters at the end that seemed tougher. All the other monsters seemed normal. But maybe that was something you got after I left. Four bad ones. It's a giant bag again. It is back. Oh yeah, dude. He can't afford little Grindan chips now that he's fired. Poor guy. Oh. I think he was the programmer. But yeah. I am really tired. Like, not just today tired. More like, I might take an entire break this weekend. Tired. So you're the adventurer Sark Malark sent, are ya? I've been waiting for ya. Now let's see what you got for me. I see. Ah, yes, I reckon I can hammer these back into shape for you. After all, I owe your friend Sark Malark a favor or two. Take good care of old Edgenoth back in the days before I fell in with old Rowena, he did. Did you know he's the son of one of the wealthiest families in the Sultanate? Wouldn't expect someone like that to end up in the life he did. But I suppose he always felt the adventurer's life calling him. But ere I go blabbering on, when there's work to be done, just hold your horse birds for a moment or two, and the great Edgenolf will have your gear looking good as new. And there we have it. Won't do you much good in battle, mind ye, but from what I hear, that's not your priority anyhow. Do send Sark-Malark my regards, will ya? Sark-Malark, that just means suck my dick, right? That's what his name means. Have you had the uniforms and helms repaired? I have. Son of a bitch. Yes, these will serve beautifully. The great Edgenolf never fails to impress. The quality of these repairs would fool even a legatus. Thus equipped, you should not have any trouble blending in amongst Imperial forces. Lest you fear that the Garleans might detect your foreignness, foreigners in fact form the greater part of the Garlean invasion force in Eorzea. You see, when the Empire subjugates new territory, it assimilates the people of that land into its armed forces. In turn, these conscripted forces are sent to subjugate faraway lands. In this way, Garlemald nips rebellion in the bud, and expands its territory in one fell stroke. With that, my part in your mission is done. I am full glad to have been of assistance to your cause. Why would I, a wealthy merchant, wish to help you? I know not where you heard such a tale, but believe me when I say that I am but another humble adventurer, one who desires only to act in the best interests of the realm. Good work getting them Imperial duds. You will be pleased to hear I ain't been idle myself. It took me long enough, but I finally hatched a plan to get us a suit of Magitek armor. Now, from what I've seen, Castrom's Sentry deploys a Reaper for most of its patrols. Trouble is, the patrols themselves are irregular, meaning random routes and random deployments, and hardly any of them come anywhere near Revenant's toll. So, hoping to coax the Imperials out of their shells, I took the liberty of feeding them a bit of the old false intelligence. Told them insurgents had designs on their stronghold. Tain't far from the truth, now I come to think of it. Any road, we should start seeing more patrols than we have up until now. What you need to do is approach one of these patrols, dressed up in your shiny tin suit, and alert them to the enemy's presence. Having done that, you'll want to lure them to as near to Revenant's toll as you can. Like as not, though, they'll be wary of venturing far from their own walls. If they do need a bit of extra encouragement, use this smoke signal here. Filched fresh from an Imperial scout. They'll come running when they see that, and when the cavalry arrives, you'll hit them hard and make off with their Reapers, simple as that. If I ain't mistaken, there's a patrol sweeping the perimeter right now. So run along, eh? Oh, and don't forget to salute. Totally, dude. Totally. Yeah. Alright, let's put on that gear. And they didn't give me the gear. Alright, we'll just have to pray that it works without. Sure, why not? But the potatoes are probably gonna take longer than the meat. One of our covert operatives, I take it? In or out of uniform, you would do well to remember your courtesies. Carry on, soldier. Insurgents gathering to the east, you say? Judging by your description, they are well beyond the perimeter, but I will not have it said that I was remiss. You, return to the scene and keep an eye on those insurgents. Should aught go awry, use your smoke signal to call us. I think here they just rewrote it so you don't need the uniform. I hope you don't mind my joining. Seeing as we're seizing advanced weaponry, I thought it best to be on hand. Ah, there she is. Yes, you and your oven mitt are just welcome. This is the place, but where is the enemy? Sir, over there! Send in the Reaper. Let us make an example of these insurgents. Come here. Put down all of the foot soldiers. Concentrate on blah blah blah. Something something. Hostiles detected. Engaging. Damn it! The armor has gone into overdrive. If you value your life, stay out of its sight. Okay. Totally, dude. Ha! That did the trick. At last, our very own suit of magic armor. Not wishing to look a gift chocobo in the beak, it does seem rather worse for wear, doesn't it? Biggs, Wedge, what's your honest assessment? Well, there's the fact that she's smoking, of course, but looking past that, I'd say she was structurally sound. I don't like the way these legs are buckled. I hate to say this, but the servo mechanism may be damaged. Eh? But aren't those things protected by thick armor plate? They are, yes. It's odd. The casing doesn't seem to have taken a blow. I suspect we're dealing with a faulty part. Well, whatever it is we're dealing with, we're not resting till it's fixed. Not one wink of sleep. You got that, Wedge? Oh, mumble mumble. Yang car chocobo. I heard that. A hall has been set aside for our use in Remnant's Toll. That's where we'll carry out the repairs. Look for us there, catch it. Alright. The Magic Armor Kid. Final Fantasy VI is a very cozy game. I still think it's probably the best game in the series, purely because it has 2 buttons in battle. But it kind of doesn't. Oh my god. Old JRPGs. JRPGs in general. Until the Holocaust part, yeah. Like, though I do appreciate the World of Ruin, but it becomes very disjointed because you're just running around picking up characters left and right. But I don't think that the story before that is like particularly good either, so I don't really mind it because it's still just like the coziness of it, and I do think that the World of Ruin is kind of cozy in its own way, and they capture that really well in Shadowbringers here, actually. The Magic Armor. Sid and the others took it inside. Go on in. Join them. What was the first game to ruin the world and have another act in it? I don't know, dude. I don't know all the games. Link to the Past didn't do that, though. Well, maybe it did. I don't remember. What happens? Yeah, no, it does do that. It's not just the Dark World. Because it becomes like the pyramid and shit later. Is it like that they fuse the worlds? I don't remember. I haven't played Link to the Past in like forever. And then he fuses the worlds, yeah. Yeah. Because otherwise you just use the mirror and you turn into Rabbit Link. Pink Rabbit Link. Yeah. A Link to the Past was 3 years before Final Fantasy VI, but I just don't know if there was anything in the NES era that did anything like that. I don't really have good track of the RPGs there, because NES RPGs were terrible. The Magitech armor? Sid and the others took it inside. Go on in and join them. We have now had time to take a closer look at the Reaper. Our preliminary diagnosis was correct. She is structurally sound, but her servo mechanism is faulty. You needn't worry though. Biggs and Wedge will see her restored to her former glory in no time at all. Give those two something to mend, and they will think of naught else till the job's done. 'Tis a marvelous thing to behold, provided you remind them to visit the privy. Oh no, do they poop themselves? The repairs are proceeding apace. It shouldn't be long now before Biggs and Wedge complete their work. There is, however, one small problem. As you may recall, the Machina's servo mechanism was discovered to be faulty. Wedge has subsequently ascertained that the Magitech core which drives it is worn beyond use. Such cores are rather fragile devices which must be replaced at regular intervals. Thanks to the negligence of our Imperial colleagues, however, the one used in this Reaper was long overdue. Alas, we do not have access to a ready replacement here in Mordoma. But all is not lost. Wedge thinks he may have identified an alternative solution. Go and see him, would ya? He'll explain the details to you. I have that fucking song in my head now. I don't even know how it goes. As I believe the chief has already informed you, the Magitech core is worn beyond use. We need to find a replacement. I thought about having you appropriate more Reapers, but even if the Dunderhead maintenance engineers of Castrum Sentry had remembered to replace their cores, we would risk arousing Imperial suspicion. Well, yeah, it's not like they already noticed that they've lost like 40 soldiers and an Imperial and a Reaper. You know, they just have that many that they just a squad. Like, who cares, dude? We just took out like a 10% of the entire station here. And they're like, yeah, no, they won't notice, it's fine. But do not despair, for I believe there is a solution. To substitute the Magitech core with a Mammoth Heart. In case you don't know, a Mammoth Heart can be used to grant sentience to an automaton. By my reckoning, such a device should be more than capable of regulating the armor's servo mechanism. We'll just need to make some minor modifications to the housing unit. I've already placed an order for a first-rate Mammoth Heart with the Goldsmith's Guild. All that remains is for someone to go to Ul'dah and collect it. Oh, and to pay for it. No, did I mention how much they cost? No? Well, they typically cost something in the order of, mumble. I hope you don't mind footing the bill. It's for a good cause. I don't mind. Of course. Of course I don't mind. Man, I don't know. Maybe we'll push it an hour more. I think I might take an early night and a couple of days off streaming. Hello there. Come to collect the mammoth heart, you say? Then you must be here on behalf of Gallant Armor. I have taken the liberty of picking the finest example we have. A heart fit for a prince among mammoths. Yeah, like I said, an hour or so. Payment? Oh, that won't be necessary. The heart is for Master Alphinaud's personal use. After all, he notified us a short while ago that his manservant would be coming to collect it. Tender in years though he may be, Master Alphinaud has been a benefactor of ours since my predecessor's time. The Goldsmiths Guild wouldn't dream of charging him. But here is the mammoth heart. May it serve you well. Oh, and please do pass on my compliments to your master. Sure. I've just been really worn out the last week or so. Plus I have a lump in my butthole. Want to go in? It hardly needs saying, but try not to be seen. Do you have the mammoth heart? I can't wait to see if it works. Hurrah! Thank you so much. But this is magnificent. It must have cost an emperor's ransom. Free of charge? Courtesy of Alphinaud? Coming from an influential family certainly has its advantages. But without further ado, let's give it a try. I've already modified the housing unit, so it should slot right in. There, she's ready. Magitech armor engage. Or not. Haha. Huh. She just needs a loving tap, I'll wager. Bonk. Yes, she's alive! Let's take her outside and put her through her paces. Cashew, would you care to do the honors? Should potatoes be covered in oil while being fried? I don't know, dude. I just put them in the thingy and just fry them like anything else. But potatoes are very slow to cook, especially if you are frying unboiled potatoes. Hop into the pilot seat. We'll begin as soon as you're ready. First, I'd like you to try climbing the angle of crystals yonder, as far up as you can go, if you please. Oh, and if for some reason you need to dismount, simply come back here and we'll start again. Start what again? Da, 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 da. No anomalous movements evident from either leg. Next. Good. Next jump back down and then sprint north. Quick as you can. Okay. Whoa. Leave me alone. Don't bother me. Leg joint absorbing all impact without incident. Excellent. Please make your way back, Cashew. Are boiled while the rest are fresh harvested? It'll be fine. Just don't burn them. Let's try that again, shall we? Hop back in, Cashew. Try it again. The torso remains stable during vigorous motion. Excellent. And that concludes our test. Thank you for your cooperation. Oh, okay. Here's a summary of my findings. The drivetrain is in sound condition. With some fine-tuning, we can expect a noticeable improvement in performance. As for the servo mechanism, I'm afraid it's not nearly as responsive as it should be, and I'm at a loss to explain why. The mammoth heart is in pristine condition and should be installed correctly. Perhaps its inner workings are simply too different to operate harmoniously with the armor's other mechanisms. Whereas Magitech cores serve only to conduct impulses, mammoth hearts enable automata to process the information collected by their sensors as feelings. Maybe she just doesn't like the part. Maybe she just doesn't feel like part of the team. In which case, we should all do our best to make her feel welcome. I got dirt on the meat. Should I rinse it? It's not a lot of dirt. Yes, dirt is going to give you salmonella. Welcome. Click. It's why when you are using, for example, purjolök, you should be very careful with cutting it open and rinsing it on the inside, since it's like all spiraled inside it. So that it hasn't picked up dirt when it was growing. Or you risk getting something from it. Eating dirt is bad. Let's put it that way. Daft as it felt, I gave it my best. I've welcomed myself to a bloody standstill. What were you expecting it to do, anyway? Bob us a curtsy? No doubt you're wondering why the servo mechanism is so important as to warrant this silliness. Without it, the pilot would be required to control the armor's every movement manually. This would be an onerous task at the best of times, and wholly impractical during battle. Using a mammoth heart in place of the worn Magitech core seemed a promising solution. Alas, the device does not appear to be compatible with Garlean technology. Oh no, I didn't mean covering it that way. He meant slathering oil all over it. Stop retweeting Pokemon porn, Sully. I'll beat your ass. Wedge. Are there no other ways we might demonstrate our appreciation to our friend here? I'm at my wit's end, Chief. She just doesn't seem convinced. We could try a little dance, perhaps, or cheer our heads off. Imperials! They've come for the armor. Damn it, they have us cornered. There's the Reaper. Taken by the traitorous Garland. And is that the Icon Slayer? Oh, bollocks. Call for reinforcements. The hells you will! Beep! Pika boobs! We've located the stolen Reaper. Requesting immediate resistance. Respond! Respond! It's no use, sir. There's some sort of interference. Curse you, Garland! No matter. If we can't reclaim it, destroy it. Bloody hells, Cashew. Protect the armor at all costs. Come on, I hit you. I saw it. I hit you twice. Got anyone to paint up on one of those models? We haven't even made any models yet. We're still in the modeling phase. We haven't even printed one. If you're talking about the Aerith statuette. But we have plenty of Warhammerers. Pretty sure both Kyle and Carlis has collections and paint. Probably old paint at this point, though. Chief, look! She moved! Ah, now she deigns to grace us with her presence. It took us a good while, but we're finally ready. It's time to infiltrate Castrum Sentry and rescue our comrades. But first, let us create a massive liability. There, the finishing touch. By spray painting a fucking enemy logo on it. Why is it just exactly the FF6 cover armor? Because this game, while it does have its own story and world, they heavily reference things and take designs from previous games to use as their own pop culture reference type thing. The servo mechanism is now fully functional, and all it took was a simple fight to the death. Remind me not to install a mammoth heart aboard the Enterprise, would you? Sorry, I mean the Sneed boat. Much as I love her, I would rather not be required to profess it before boarding. But enough of that. Let us see to our final preparations. Thanks to Biggs and Wedge, the Reaper is as good as new. We are as prepared as we're like to get. How go your preparations, Cashew? We leave as soon as you're ready. Glaumund, you came! Aye, thought I'd give you all a roaring send-off. 'Tis the least I can do for the fine men and women what are about to make my lifelong wish come true. Which looks nothing like the armor art in the game. Well, we'll do our best. It occurs to me, for all the help you afforded us, we know little and less about you. What did the Empire do to earn your ire? But I fear I put curiosity before consideration. I quite understand if you'd rather not relive those memories. No, I don't mind, really. Truth be told, a part of me was itching to tell you my tale. Mind you, it is hardly novel. I ain't the first to suffer at Imperial hands. Like most folk, I used to have a mother. She was a sweet, caring woman with a smile never far from her face. There was a sister, too. Pretty little thing. She was gentle as a lamb, but tough as nails. We were poor folk, living simple lives, but we knew happiness just the same. And then the Imperials came and took it all away. When Alamigo fell, they put my family in a camp. Being a lad, I was made to do hard labor, while my mother and sister were forced to do far worse. They hid their suffering from me as best as they could. Another rape scene? But I knew, and the thought of it drove me mad. We had to escape, and so I hatched a plan to get us out of the city. We were picking our way around a gorge not far outside the walls, when they caught up with us. And rather than allow themselves to be taken again, my mother and sister leaped over the edge before my very eyes. Heartbroken as I was, I didn't put up a fight when the Imperials clapped me in chains and dragged me back. 'Twas some years after that I escaped again, and that time I got away. I swore then that I'd get revenge on the Empire, and became an adventurer so as to hone my skills and earn the coin I needed. But nigh on 2 decades have since gone by, and what have I achieved? Bugger all, that's what... Well, this whole part about becoming an adventurer and making money is so silly. If you think about it. It's like, first of all, like, being an adventurer was never actually a thing. And even less so, like, making money out of, like, just walking around. Even just exploring. At best, maybe if you were sent as an explorer by, like, the king or something. But, like, otherwise... Like, what are you? Maybe a map maker? But not really. 'Twas some years, blah 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 blah. Not like you lot. You ain't been here 10 minutes, and you've already done more than I managed in 10 bloody years. You give us too much credit, Glaumund. We seek only to rescue our friends. Well, what's more important than that? And any road, after you've got your friends back, you're planning on going after the Empire, and don't pretend you ain't. I've helped a few folk take on the Imperials over the years, and every time I have, it's helped stave off my appetite for revenge. But someone tells me I won't be going hungry for a while. What with everything you've got planned. And you are sure that will satisfy you? If you wish to strike back at the Empire with your own hands, you need only say the word. We would be glad to have you with us. Tempting though your offer is, I'm afeard I must decline. I swore I'd get revenge on the Empire, 'tis true, but I've long since realized that the front lines are no place for a man like me. Aye, there's some as would call me craven, but I prefer to think of myself as a realist. My talents lie in scheming, you see, not swordplay. Helping folk like you is how I can make the most difference. But that's quite enough storytelling for one day. Best not keep your friends waiting any longer. I'll be praying for your safety and success. May Ralgr give you strength. Wherever the Empire goes, misery invariably follows in its wake. For the sake of all who call Eorzea home, we must put an end to Gaius' ambitions. But first, we have friends to rescue. Biggs, Wedge, and I will lie in wait east of Castrum Sentry, just outside the stronghold's patrol perimeter. Join us when you're ready. Oh, and don't forget to wear your disguise, or this will be the shortest rescue mission in history. I don't have that. Maybe I can go and get it from the Reclaimer? What's the biggest impact you've made on the internet? Someone saying, I am the reason Nigel Thornberry became a meme, and I also made this gift when it's just a lady. But I added Cab with it. Cab made an edit of 2B. Yeah, it's 2B. From Nier Automata. And he added like a little butthole ring around the panties. He was like, they gave her a butthole, and he was like in multiple gaming outlets. I think we'll end it there because I can't continue. We literally have to do an entire dungeon to level up. So I can't do anything. Well, I could, but I don't. I'm so worn out. Like, holy shit. I think unless I change my mind, I'm just not gonna stream tomorrow at least. Maybe not Friday either. I'll just feel it out as the days go. And I could probably use a couple of days off my butt. Not gonna lie. So, until I decide to stream next, which again might be maybe this weekend or not this weekend. Thanks for hanging. Have a good night. Bye-bye. I will commune with the Star Trek. That's what my people do. Bye-bye.